This week on Flix Freaks, we review The Last Thing He Wanted, starring Anne Hathaway, Ben Affleck, Willem Dafoe, and Rosie Perez, directed by Dee Rees. A hard-hitting reporter becomes entangled in the story she's trying to break when she helps her ailing father broker an arms deal in Central America. All right, so this week we are reviewing The Last Thing He Wanted, Netflix original. Starring Anne Hathaway, it had Ben Affleck, Willem Dafoe, Rosie Perez, directed by Dee Rees. I cannot express how bad this movie was. There was a couple of decent points, what we'll get into later on, but for the most part, this was awful. Tyler, what did you think?
Yeah, definitely not the greatest film in the world. Its plot is so convoluted, and the film is long. The amount of times I checked my watch and the little Netflix slider, see how much time was left in the film. I even had to stop watching like 45 minutes in just because I couldn't take it anymore. Uh, I watched it in between 2 days. Um, it was not very exciting or interesting.
Now, to say, I was excited about this film when I first saw the trailer because of the all-star cast that it has. Ben Affleck, Anne Hathaway, Willem Dafoe, Rosie Perez are all fantastic performers, and they delivered their lines. They delivered their characters amazingly. They really did a good job. There was emotion. That it was believable. The characters were believable as far as real people. And I think the actors did the best that they could with the crap that they were handed. I felt the writing was very disjointed. It was all over the place. It didn't make any sense. And I thought I was missing something. I was constantly sliding back, rewinding back a minute or two or a few seconds here and there because I thought I was missing something in the dialogue that was supposed to be important when the reality is it just didn't make any sense. One of the biggest things I really detested about this film was the amount of narration that was done throughout to explain stuff, to explain the storyline of what was going on with these characters throughout the film.
The whole movie, it did not explain who they were, what they were doing, why they were doing it until like the last 5 minutes. Especially Ben Affleck's character, Treat, and another character you meet like halfway through the film. His name is Jones, and they're two major players in this story. Um, and they really aren't explained until like you said, the last 5 minutes of the film.
The opening scene was actually pretty good. So the opening scene, minus the narration though, the opening scene was actually pretty good, and it leads you to believe that there's going to be more excitement to come later, and then it just completely slows down for the next 30 minutes. They're introducing Rosie Perez's character. They're introducing Willem Dafoe's character, who plays Anne Hathaway's dad. And we don't know if he's a drunk, an alcoholic, he has dementia. We have no idea what's going on necessarily. He's a little bit crazy, which Willem Dafoe does great. He plays crazy really well. And he's apparently an arms dealer. But it's never actually stated that he's an arms dealer. It just says that he moves product and he has business and he has contacts and he has a business partner and so on and so forth. But you don't really know what's going on. It's never solidified that, hey, Willem Dafoe sells guns to South American armies, and sometimes in exchange we get cocaine, and that's how we launder money and stuff like that. I don't know. It was very confusing.
I went into this film not knowing really anything about it, and I initially got the feeling I thought it was going to be like another Zero Dark 30. I don't know if you've seen that or not. And I thought that's what this film was going to play into, and I was actually really excited those first couple of minutes where it shows him in the jungle, and she's finding these shell casings, and these corpses. Uh, did not play out that way though.
No, and that's what I was led to believe as well, which was she was a journalist in South America trying to make a connection between the U.S. government and these arms deals that are going on and this war that's going on in South America during the early to mid '80s, and it never really hit on that. It's like she her desk was frozen and she wasn't allowed to report on it anymore, and then she was still trying to, but again now she is in mixed up in the arms deal, and it just I get it. It's like, oh, well, she used that as an opportunity to further her journalism and to catch this and to get this scoop this story, but it didn't turn out that way. It's like it never really went back to her trying to scoop this story. It was just trying to the arms deal went bad, and then she was trying to save her life, maybe because there might be a guy named Bob trying to kill her, but we don't really know. We find it in the end monologue, what's going on, which again was just horrible. The fact that they had to narrate and monologue the hell out of this movie in order for anybody to understand it, because everything in between was just garbage. I mean, you might as well have just done a 10-minute short monologue, the whole thing, splash some scenes in there once in a while just to kind of keep our attention visually, and then call it a day right there. This really could have been a 10-minute short film. It didn't need to be 90 minutes. It didn't need to be made. I hope all of these performers were paid well, because this script was beneath, in my opinion, this script was beneath every actor who starred in this film. It really was. The filmmaker, who was also the writer, did a piss poor job. It didn't make any sense. And I feel sorry for the performers because they had to deliver these lines, unfortunately. So I will say, though, any filmmakers or potential filmmakers out there, this film could actually boost your confidence, because if this piece of crap could get made, you could have any piece of crap that you write get made too.
Overall review?
Yeah, what do you think? What are you going to give it a Netflix thumbs up or Netflix thumbs down?
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
Oh, I gave it a thumbs down, big time. Yeah, I did not like this movie, and I wish I didn't have to spend 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes I won't get back, but that's okay.